Welcome to the rap.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mondays, so you know what that means. It's all new episode of the Rap Lab. It's your favorite controversial candy man, the ALFRE to the D.
What up? It's your boy, the one and only, the only one, the Rev Barber MC.
Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what I do. Always keeping it true. It's the Q.
And as you can tell, there's only three of us right now because our boy T.O., what's the dealio, is under the weather. So keep your head up. We riding with you, and we hope you feel better. And you'll be here next week, I hope. So shout outs to our guy T.O. Without further ado, today our topic is we will be reviewing and giving our critiques of Complex's best rapper for every year, 1979 to present. Now, before everybody in podcast land and on YouTube gets the panties in a bunch, no, we are not going through the list year by year because from 1979 to present, we probably will be sitting here till next year. So, with that being said, we're going to have a thoughtful discussion that encompasses the whole list. So first off, fellas, I want to ask y'all, in y'all humble opinion, and we'll start with you first, QG. What do you think qualifies a rapper to be the rapper of the year, in your personal opinion?
In my personal opinion, I feel for someone to qualify as rapper of the year is cultural impact that goes beyond the regular hip hop fan base. Somebody who's marketable, you can see them everywhere, and the skills and techniques that can translate to all fans of different taste. Prime example, you could have a rapper that caters to people that love lyrics. You have a rapper that just sounds good. You have a rapper that's able to appeal to people that just want to hear bars. You know, if you have somebody that has the total package, if you will, to me, that can make them the rapper of the year. And there's a lot of them that qualify like that. Like Big did that. Pac did that. You know, Jay-Z did that. So those are some notable names I feel could qualify.
Let me ask you a question. You had said cultural impact beyond what's regular. Can you elaborate on that?
Certainly. When you have a guy like 50 Cent, who we all know his story, but when the songs that he was able to make for the Get Rich or Die Trying album, it was so big that it got that pop appeal. So now you're going outside the hip hop community and you're attracting the other genres of fans to the point where you actually got celebrities who really don't listen to hip hop, but they know 50 Cent based on the songs. Prime example, same guy I just mentioned. They had an interview with Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone said his favorite rapper is 50 Cent, specifically because of that year and the songs he was able to come out with. In the Club was so big that it played everywhere, even to a point with a guy like Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, when he came out with the Carter 3, I believe it was Sharon Stone who was actually listening to it in her car. Like, can you honestly associate Sharon Stone with listening to a Lil Wayne album?
Absolutely not.
It's kind of ill, but that's good. It shows you how popular that the song and the album was. So that's what I mean. When you have something that goes beyond the regular hip hop based community, if you can do that, you are somewhere.
You're talking mainstream appeal then.
Definitely mainstream appeal, but at the same time, you still have your hardcore fan base. You're still hip hop, but the song is so big that it can attract other audiences.
Understood. Rev, what about you? What for you would qualify a rapper to be the rapper of the year by your standards?
Well, consistency, throughout the year, whether it be the album dropping or features, they got to be consistent in all aspects. Also, like public appearances too, like just staying out there in the public eye and being relevant, and doing good promotional work of the album, just all the small things. Um, Someone like DMX who dropped 2 albums in one year, that for me just gives more points as well. So if you're dropping a bunch of projects, even mixtapes, and you're consistent on all ends, then for me that makes you a strong contender.
Let me ask you this, Rev, because you said public appearances factor in. So you brought up somebody like DMX, and it's no secret DMX has been in a bunch of movies. So with something like being in movies like DMX or like Method Man and Redman had a TV sitcom, does that factor into your criteria as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. Radio appearances, just being in the public eye and just being relevant and just taking over the whole year, and being undeniable.
Okay, understood. For me, it's got to be a criteria of several things. So number one, if you're gonna be the rapper of the year, you have to have, for me at least, you had to have at least dropped the album that year. I don't care about you did 1,000 features or you did 6 mixtapes. Y'all know me. Mixtapes are bullshit. I throw mixtapes out the window. I use mixtapes as a coaster for my drink.
That's a lie.
Like,
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
What?
You're being very overcritical when it comes to mixtapes. You don't use mixtapes as a coaster. You don't throw mixtapes out as a window. Just because you don't consider it for any records criteria. There's mixtapes out there that are fire that I'm sure you listen to. You may not have to rank them, but there's mixtapes out there that are fantastic. Lloyd Banks has amazing mixtapes.
Dogs.
Joey Badass.
Joey Badass has mixtapes.
Listen,
a lot of your favorites have done mixtapes, Candyman. So what are you saying?
Listen, I'm aware of that. First of all, and I've said it on this show, 1999 by Joey Badass is a fire mixtape, but it don't count for nothing. It's like a preseason game.
You still bump it, don't you? You don't throw it out the window or use it as a coaster, don't you?
I bump it when I don't have nothing to listen to for the rest.
That's a load of malarkey.
Yeah,
who the hell do you think you're fooling?
I'm not fooling nobody.
You got a lot of nerve. Stop all that nonsense, man.
That's low-key mixtape racist.
Exactly.
Mixtape racist?
Yeah.
And you know what? Yep. Knowing y'all going to try to get that to trend. Mixtape racist.
That's exactly what you're doing. You are. Come on, man.
Listen. It's like and one in the NBA. The guys on and one can do stuff the guys in the NBA can't do, but only one guy from and one ever went to the NBA.
But there's plenty of your favorites that have put out mixtapes. Jadakiss got fire mixtapes. 50 Cent got fire mixtape. There's plenty people from the South that drop fire mixtapes. So what are you talking about?
How about this? Have you ever released an album?
I've released a mixtape, but I don't want to talk about it.
See, I knew it.
A mixtape.
And you know why it was a mixtape? Because I was using beats that already existed.
So why didn't you go the other route and decide to do a full-length album instead of a mixtape?
Because 11 years ago, I was just a young kid with bright dreams and no money.
Even Nipsey Hussle, the great Nipsey Hussle, put out fire mixtapes. Are you kidding me?
Nipsey Hussle's career is short-lived because, according to me, he only did features and had Victory Lap in one album.
Those mixtapes put him on the map.
But what about mixtapes that use original beats?
Are there any mixtapes that use?
Yes, there are. Beats? Yes, there are.
So then why is it a mixtape and not an album?
You got to understand something. When it's no label distribution, and when you come out, when you're not tied to the industry, and when you put something together as far as a mixtape, you flood the streets with it. Your hardcore fan base appreciates that to the point where they even put it up. This is the best project out, even compared to some other albums. That's the thing. So it's not as easy and cut and dry to just be on a label. So, okay, I'm just coming out with an album. How do you rebuild yourself and rebrand yourself like Lloyd Banks did, to the point where he was labeled as Rapper of the Year just based off mixtapes? And this is somebody that came in the mixtape game, got into the industry, got out of that, and then dropped and flooded the streets with these mixtapes to the point where people are like, yo, Banks is that dude. Even Fab got fire mixtapes.
Yeah, Fab got fire mixtapes. And what did we say a couple weeks ago? Fab could have been the king of New York had he made albums and not mixtapes.
Are those mixtapes good though?
Hey, all right.
They're all right. You hear this guy?
Get out of here, man.
You mean to tell me Cinnamon Apple is better than anything he ever did on an album?
Nobody is saying what's better than what. We're saying dope is dope, no matter what you put. How many people talk about the mixtape Wheezy? They talk about mixtape Wheezy for a reason.
Mixtape Wheezy. See, everybody talk about no ceilings, but you know, I live in a house with ceilings. All right.
You're not making any sense.
No, the Carter 2 is better than
None.
no ceilings. Stop it.
You're just making yourself sound more like a hypocrite, especially with that Joey Badass 1999 that you say you bump because there's nothing to listen to. That is the biggest lie in the world.
All American Badass is better than 1999. Before the money.
Nobody is saying what's
definitely not.
better. No, you see? Come on, man. There you go.
Listen, man. But anywho,
Yo, my bad. 1999 had original beats too, though.
Yes, it did.
some of them, not the whole tape though. And even my beloved Capital Steez, I can't rank American Corruption because 90% of the tape was beats that already existed. He was rhyming over Doom beats.
Bro, J. Cole started out with mixtapes, and those mixtapes are fantastic.
Bro, mostly everybody starts out with mixtapes nowadays.
They're fantastic.
Word.
Even the Colonel just dropped the mixtape, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Do you have it?
No, I'm not, bro. I listened to one song, and that was that Stop Hating song that you sent me. That's the only reason I knew about the mixtape.
That about Whack 100?
No, I don't know. It might be about Whack 100. I don't. I believe Whack 100 is out of his mind. But
let's get back to where we're going, because we just went this whole other way about mixtapes, and I bet on the low, Rev, that he probably heard that whole Master P mixtape and just won't say so.
Look at all these haters. But yeah, I don't care about mixtapes though. But
yes, you do.
But you have to drop an album. You can't tell me you can be nominated for Rapper of the Year with no album that year. That's below. That's blasphemy. You got to have at least an album.
Yeah, and it takes more than just albums, but continue.
I also, like yourself, cultural impact. So, like, for example, did a rapper do something and it became a popular trend? Or did a rapper say something and it became a hashtag that everybody would use? So, like, for example, even though he wouldn't win Rapper of the Year in any year in my book, BG invented the word bling. And bling is a word still used to this day. So,
correct.
So something of that stature. What else? Features, definitely, even though it is possible, in my opinion, it is possible to be Rapper of the Year with no features. But you would have to have you probably would have to have the Album of the Year to be the Rapper of the Year with no features. Yeah, so that's pretty much my criteria. Oh, and if you get into a beef, you cannot lose the beef. If you lose the beef, that bogs you down in my ranking. So MC Shan could never qualify for Rapper.
You keep bringing up Shan over. Oh yeah. How about when Drake took that L to Pusha? How about when Drake took that L to Pusha? You want to talk about that?
Hey, Pusha played dirty, okay?
Pusha won. You want to talk about that?
But that year Drake didn't win.
You always bring up Shan. How about you bring up when Drake took that L?
Yeah, but who's had the more successful career? Drake.
Since you're a Drake fan.
Drake or Pusha? Who's had the better?
He lost. He lost the battle. He lost the battle. He lost. So now money and Grammys are a factor for victory, not skills. That's so good. That's very good.
No, when we talk about Rapper of the Year, we're not talking about who lost the beef.
Because contrary to popular opinion, when people talk about Dr. Dre and Eazy-E with the issue they got in, even though the Chronic did what it did, a lot of people will give Eazy-E that victory. Do you agree with that?
No. Eazy-E got destroyed.
Really? Destroyed? Dre Day made Eazy's payday?
Listen, Eazy-E was a staunch businessman.
You sure about that?
Wait. Listen, he was a staunch businessman, and it was great business that, he was like, all right, I'll let you out of your contract. You can do your death row thing, but I'm going to get 25 cents.
So who really won? Who really won when money is a factor according to your criteria as far as the beef? If he's making 25 cents a copy off the Chronic, who really won?
Dogs,
you could diss me all over it.
At the end of the day, Death Row made way more money.
I'm talking Dre and Eazy. I'm not talking about Ruthless and Death Row. I'm talking Dre versus Eazy. If you're going battle for battle, a lot of people would say Eazy-E won off that.
The
But go
Drake,
ahead with the
the
Drake
Drake,
situation.
the Drake situation is different. Dude. You can't compare the
No,
two.
no, it's not different. No, because you like to bring up MC Shan as a punchline for this show. When in
Punchline,
yeah, yes you
punchline,
do, yes you do. And
bro.
another thing, you said Nelly beat KRS, but
And it went,
you love to jump around that KRS beat Shan, and you said Nelly beat KRS.
he beat him on a technicality. It was
A draw, a
it was a draw.
technicality.
It was a
Oh, is
draw.
that so? Is that so?
KRS hadn't won until he told niggas had an album.
Unbelievable. You see how hypocritical you
I'm
get?
not.
What
It's not hypocritical.
when
Y'all
it
see
comes
what y'all like. What y'all
when it
like to
comes to
see.
people you like, man, that's the problem.
People I like. I'm not
When
biased.
it comes to you're not biased. When it comes to people you like, you do not give it any other way. Oh, I like them so they can't lose.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true at all.
Unbelievable, man.
But I like Easy E.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Sure.
I got the albums.
So, what does that mean?
What do you
You
mean
got Shan,
so?
you got Shan albums too, and you love to talk bad about them every time you get on here.
I don't talk bad about. Listen, I keep Shan relevant. Who do you know other than Shan that talks about Shan just as much as I do?
Shan keeps himself relevant. You just use him as a punchline.
No, Shan. See what Shan does? He sits in the car and drinks out of the flask and talks his stuff.
That's his
We got
business.
an issue at hand here with the complex joint. You know, we could go all day with this.
Yeah, we
We need to,
can.
like,
Yeah,
stick
All
to
right,
yeah.
this
yeah,
right now,
we
please.
getting
Let's go.
we getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, so the first in the criteria. The first in the criteria. Um, what makes so we went over what we think makes the rapper of the year. We said singles, we said hits, we said albums. Some of us said awards. Going through the list, QG, and we'll start with you. Were there any names that won that stuck out?
Definitely. Definitely LL for 1985, 87 for Rakim, 89 for Kane, 1990 for Cube, 93 for Snoop, 94 for Nas, Biggie 95, Pac 96, X 98, 2000 M, 2003 50, 2006 Wayne, 2011 Drake, 2013 Ken. Those were the names that I ran down. Kendrick Lamar, people. Why to do that to wrap this part up? They all came out with notable albums and movements that made it possible. And to touch on with what Rev was saying and what you were saying as far as features, appearances, all over the place. Like, you couldn't get enough of them for that year. When they were out that year, not only that, their peers respected them and their peers gave them credit for what they did. And to have a full body of work. You can't just come with just a single, everything like that. And at the same time, their albums aged well. You could still listen to it till this day like the first time you heard it. You still could look back and look at the run that they were on. So all of the above, as far as all the criteria and everything that we mentioned, but the notable winners, those are my picks for those reasons. The albums that they came out with for that time were solid masterpieces.
Okay. What about you, Rev? Any notable names that won that stuck out on the list?
Well, 50 Cent in 2003, that was, to me, unanimous. He held that year down. I think that's probably, like, I wouldn't say his rookie year, but one of the best, like, mainstream rookie years I've ever seen. Also, DMX in 1998, it was pretty close between, like, him and Jay-Z, but like I said earlier, X dropping 2 albums, you know, and then going platinum on them definitely gives him the edge. Um, Also, Jay-Z, 1999, 2001, and 2009. He won it 3 times along with Drake. Um, I feel like maybe 2009 could be questionable. 1999, it was his year. I'll give it to him. 2001 was a strong year as well. 2009, I'm not so sure. Like I said, also Drake, he won it 2 years in a row. 2011, 2012. They gave him 2015. That sticks out to me too. I feel like that could be argued, but yeah, those are the ones that stick out to me.
As far as notable winners for me that stick out, I definitely agree. Pac in '96. Um, Pac in '96, absolutely. As you said, 2003 with 50 Cent. By the way, the criteria, if you read the criteria for this list, I love it. So, like, for example, one of the criteria for how 50 Cent won in 2003, it says the merciless destruction of Ja Rule's career. Like, I love it. I just love it. See, Complex, I respect y'all, because when niggas lose, y'all let them niggas know that they lost. I love it.
At the same time, 50 was no holds barred. Everything he did was a systematic destruction of Ja Rule, whether it be skits, covers of artwork, anything that he could do to pull him down and to get him out of here. He pulled no punches.
And 2006, I deservedly feel Lil Wayne got that. With no doubt, he had that. His magical run started in 2006. I also believe he should have got it he did get it in 2008. 1998, I would say I could give it to DMX. 97, I could agree with Biggie on there. 94, I agree with Nas. 93, I agree with Snoop. Even going back to the 80s, I agree Big Daddy Kane in 89. I agree Rakim in 87. I definitely agree with my boy KRS-One in 86. And again, the lone credential for 86, South Bronx, even though Rev I.
There he goes again. He just can't help himself.
Hey man, it is what it is. But as far as problems with this list, QG, do you have any issues with the list at all?
As far as a year?
No, the list overall.
I don't have any issues with the list overall, but the one thing I do need to point out, and this is what off the air T.O. brought up to me personally. There were a lot of honorable mentions that were not mentioned, and the lack of FemCs is not on this list. That's a big problem. There's no MC Light. There's no Queen Latifah. There's no DeBrat. There's no Missy Elliott. And it's funny you mentioned that, Rep. She got an honorable mention in 98.
Yeah.
But that was all she got. So it was like, where is the balance here? Because there can be an argument for Missy Elliott with all the stuff that she was able to do. She could have had a year for herself. If you really break it down and if you look at the numbers and all the success. MC Light's first album is a classic. She's nowhere to be found. There's a lot here.
Let me play devil's advocate for you.
Was
there ever a year where a FemC could have been rapper of the year? I don't think so.
Missy Elliott.
In what year would you have given it to her?
Missy Elliott could have got it. Like
in what year? I'm asking you though.
Looking. Okay. Well, for one, she should have been given an honorable mention in '97 because Super Duper Fly was a game changer. Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I'm getting to that.
Go ahead.
Going with Rev. Rev brought up 1999, that 1999 is questionable, right, for Jay-Z?
Mm-hmm.
She could have got it for the Real World. She could have got it for the Real World in 1999. That was a big album for Missy Elliott. And let's not forget Miss E So Addictive. That came out in 2001, but I understand why she didn't get it. I understand that because with the success of Blueprint. But I'll argue for 1999. Because 1999 was a very, very interesting year, especially riding off the success of 98. I would have given something to Missy Elliott for the Real World, to be honest with you. Because when you look at what was on there, she got, and I think why they kind of shunned her is because she was mixing in the singing along with the rapping. Because when you look at the songs like She's a Bitch and All in My Grill and Hot Boys, those are some hot records. So even though there was some, it was like a mix of both, because she's rapping on "She's a Bitch," but she's also vocalizing on "All of My Grill" and all stuff like that. But she could have got that year, I think.
Yeah, that's agreeable.
99 though. Could she really have taken it in 99?
She was killing it in 1999.
Over Jay-Z though?
I mean, when you look at Jay-Z's work in 1999,
Volume
besides, okay, right. I mean, Volume 3, but
Volume 3 is a better album than The Real World though.
No, well, that's your opinion. But here's the problem. That's your opinion. But here's the problem. When they do award shows, it cuts in the next year. Those awards that Jay got in 99 was for Volume 2's 98. So it kind of cuts into it. And he was doing a lot of, like as far as the guest appearances and everything like that. But at the same time, there can be an argument, and there should be an argument for Missy Elliott. Now, I don't like the fact that artists that have the credentials to get glossed over, and I felt Missy Elliott was glossed over for her name not to be mentioned anywhere. Same thing with Da Brat. Da Brat was the first female to go platinum. Funkdafied did his work.
Yeah, but Funkdafied came out in 94. You really gonna put Da Brat over Nas?
I'm not saying I'm putting Da Brat over Nas. I'm saying she should be mentioned. Not even an honorable mention. That's a problem.
Let me check the honorable mention. Yeah, and yes, people, Complex did give honorable mentions for every year listed. 94 is honorable mentions. Let's see. Biggie, Scarface, and Redman. You think Da Brat should go over one of those three?
I didn't say they should go over.
You can only
I'm saying they need to be added.
But they only did 3 honorable mentions. They're not doing
that's the problem.
If you add one more, then you're gonna have to add another one and another one and another. Like, we can't give everybody an honorable mention.
Do you work for Complex?
No, I don't.
No, so this is the Rap Lab podcast, so we can add in what we want. It's the same thing with Warren G. You think Warren G shouldn't be mentioned for anything that he did from his first album?
I mean, bro, I'm not trying to shit on Warren G. The man had one song, fam. One song.
No, wrong. You're acting like that album did nothing for Def Jam. Regulate the G-Funk era, one song? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And you know something? I'm going to point this out too. And I'm going to add this into what you were saying, Rev. When it comes to Ghostface Killer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ghostface himself feels that Supreme Clientele is his best work. Do you agree with that?
Supreme Clientele?
Yeah. He has that over Iron Man for personal reasons.
Wow, I like Iron Man better than Supreme Clientele, but I mean,
I like Supreme Clientele personally.
Why I'm saying him? Don't you think Ghostface deserved a little bit better himself?
Oh yeah, even Bulletproof Wallets was dope.
So the point I'm making is, it depends on who you ask. It depends on who you was listening to. Even Common got an honorable mention, and that was just for B. They didn't mention anything else. So there's a lot of people that could have been added on here, is what I'm saying, as far as honorable mentions, and the lack of females.
Right.
That's my only problem.
See, I can't even count the lack of females, because if they're not better than who was listed, how could you put them in?
MC Lyte deserves to be up there. What you mean? How can you put them in? If they got good albums, if they have singles that when you put them on, it's still good. Like MC Lyte, Queen Latifah. You think UNITY don't deserve his props?
It does. It's a great song.
Not only that, the album, and she won a Grammy for it. Black Rain is a great album by Queen Latifah. She deserves her credit.
I don't think the list is sexist. I just don't think any woman
I didn't say that the list was sexist. You see what you're doing? You're adding in your insecurities and trying to make it say like I am saying it. No, I'm not. Pay attention to what I'm saying. I didn't say one time that Complex was sexist. Because if they were, Nicki Minaj wouldn't even have a year.
Well,
Don't you think Foxy Brown and Lil Kim deserve a little bit more as far as honorable mentions themselves?
I personally don't.
Nope.
Definitely not.
So
Foxy Brown.
So like how we stuck true to the report card, right? And we graded whoever on those categories. I'm sticking true to the complex list and only having 3 honorable mentions. You can
stay true to the complex list, but you asked me what my issue was with it. That's what I told you.
That, but I don't see that as a valid issue because if a woman did not have a better year than those who were listed, how can you say, oh,
how do you no. First of all, you don't sound like me, so shut up. Second of all, all right, you want to play a game? Well, I'll tell you this. The reason why I feel that the women deserve to be up there is because like you, because you're a loudmouth slip. That's you, Foghorn Leghorn. I'm going to talk just like you since you want to bring that up. So basically, when you look at the female MCs that came out from many years ago, like Queen Latifah, who had a classic album, even Eve wasn't mentioned, and Eve had a pretty good album. I'm not saying that they could have won that year, but at least acknowledge their name. At least put them in there and make them feel important. Like, Rev, even though you disagree with having Foxy and Lil Kim up there, Il Na Na is nothing to sleep over. Hardcore is nothing to sleep over. At least put something in there to show that, okay, they did their thing. Just that's all I'm saying. I'm not here saying that they should have overtook Jay-Z or overtook Nas or anything. At least put them in there so when people look back at the complex and look at the list, oh, the Break was up there? Let me listen to Funkdafied. Oh, I see why she was up there. Because people can go back to the list and reference it and see, you know what? Especially people that don't really know about these albums. There's people that don't know nothing about these albums that are on this list. If it's on the list and they follow it, they could go back and be like, you know what? Let me check this out. This was in that year. I don't know nothing about it. Let me listen to it. Oh, this is pretty good. That's the basis of this whole thing, is trying to preserve hip hop, no matter what genre, no matter what gender you are.
True. Yeah, you make a valid point, but at the same time, but do you get what I'm saying though? Like, Rev, am I making sense or am I just rambling on? Like, if they didn't have a better year than everybody else in the year, how can I list them and name them? Like you say, yes, Funkdafied was a good album. Yes, she was the first female rapper to sell X amount of units. But over Nas and Biggie?
I didn't say over Nas and Biggie. I said an honorable mention.
Right. So you just want to add an additional slot to the honorable mentions, if I'm understanding correct.
Don't they deserve to be in there for that year?
I mean, if they only given 3.
You see, you're just going on based with complex. You asked me what was my issue with it, and I gave you the answer. It's all opinionated anyway. Do you have a problem with this complex list?
I have problems with the list, yes.
What's your problems with the list?
So first off, let me go back through the list because there are certain inclusions that I don't want to misquote a goddamn thing.
You already did it from the start of the night, but go ahead.
What did I misquote?
No, go ahead.
So my biggest issue, and I think Rev may or may not agree with me, and you may too, I don't find it right that they would put rappers who were in groups who didn't have solo work at the time to be rapper of the year. So for example, 1983 Run Run? He's part of a group. Run never did anything solo to 2005. Why is he rapper of the year? Not even just 83, but 83 and 84. Let's see, 83. What was the credentials? It's Like That and Sucker MCs. Wow, whoop-de-doo. He released 2 songs.
Don't
Credentials,
say,
Run
don't
DMC.
say,
Yeah, he had an album.
don't say whoop-de-doo. Don't say whoop-de-doo. When them songs, you put them on, they still are very good. They're still hot. EPMD ain't up here. EPMD ain't in. There's plenty of people from groups that aren't in there. But when you think of Run DMC, Run was the standout MC. Run was one of the main rhyme writers. That's why they put him in there. Don't say whoop-de-doo like it's a garbage record.
No, they didn't put him in there because he wrote anything. They specifically said those songs. Who else on this list was in a group?
Whose verse stood out the most?
Now, hold on. Now, technically, even though I agree with 86, KRS-One shouldn't. Well, actually, you know what? If you know BDP, he was the only rapper whose vocals were on that record. So I guess you could put him, even though technically it was Boogie Down Productions that put out South Bronx and not KRS-One. Who else?
He's the front man. That's why.
Rakim. He was Eric B and Rakim. He wasn't a solo act.
Eric B was the DJ. Eric B didn't rap.
Yeah, he didn't rap.
What are you doing?
That's a little.
So then why was it Bill? Why does the album say
serious?
Eric B and Rakim, huh?
It's the same thing as DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Jazzy Jeff ain't rap. And that's another problem too. And T.O. brought that up. Will Smith didn't get any acknowledgement either. And his album in 1997 sold 5 million copies, and he was all over the place winning awards.
Yeah, but there was rappers who had better years in 97.
It ain't about a better years. Where's his name at?
Criteria too.
Hold on. And here's the one of the big ones that got me. Q-Tip in 91. He was in a group. He didn't have any solo work.
His verses stood out. That's why they put it. It's his book. It's his book. Go ahead, Rev. Say it.
His production too.
Yes.
Yeah, but the production shouldn't matter because this is a rappers list. You know they have a separate list for producers.
It's a full body of work. Especially when you stand out on certain things. Q-Tip is one of the most recognizable voices ever. That's also a part of it. What did they say? Midnight Marauders?
For Q-Tip, let's see. Q-Tip, credentials. The Low End Theory. And then he was on the songs Groove is in the Heart, Don't Curse, A Roller Skating Jam Named Saturdays, and Come On Down.
You see, features are a part of it. That was a big part because he was all over the place in 91.
Yeah, but he was in a group, dog.
It doesn't matter if he was in a group. He stood out because when he did the features, he split. Why do you think Prodigy got an honorable mention in 1995? Prodigy was all over the place.
Yeah, he was killing shit.
See, but this goes back to what I'm saying. You got to have a solo album, bro.
Oh boy.
It shouldn't be, because if that be the case, I still Run shouldn't be on the goddamn list. I'm sorry.
Run should be on the goddamn list.
No.
Yes, he should.
And then from listening to both him and DMC, their voices are so undistinct. I can't even. If you told me to close my eyes and listen to a Run DMC record, and which one said this and which one?
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That is not a lie. That is a lie. Apparently you're not listening. So if you put on a C Murder record and a Master P, I can't tell the difference between the both of them because they both sound the same in their brothers.
No, they got distinct voices. What are you talking about?
They both sound the same. Since Rev Run and Down Back, if you put them on, I can't tell the difference. I can't tell the difference between Master P and C Murder.
That's ignorant.
You're ignorant for that statement. For that statement of Run DMC, you can definitely tell who was who. What the hell are you talking about? If you said Slick Rick and Dana Dane, then you would have an argument.
Moving on, Rev, what do you have any issues with the list? From at any point in the list, from criteria to picks or honorable mentions?
I do agree a lot with the criteria, and I could understand, I could follow it. But 2016 Chance the Rapper, man.
I'm with you, Rev.
Yeah, that was super questionable.
Between that and Tyler the Creator 2021, I definitely feel you.
You know what though, man, with Tyler the Creator, like not me specifically, but like he has a large fan base. And it's not only just hip hop, it touches like like different genres too. Like he's loved by like different artists, different like I said, genres and everything. 2001, I probably wouldn't have gave it to him, but definitely 2016, I wouldn't have gave it to Chance the Rapper. I probably would have gave it to Kendrick, only because To Pimp a Butterfly wasn't my favorite album, but it made a lot of waves, not only musically, but visually too. With the NBA, they were using all his songs and his performances. But yeah, I wouldn't have gave that to Chance the Rapper. I know Kendrick got it the year after, but
Yeah.
I would have gave it to Kendrick 2 years in a row.
Okay.
I got a question for you guys since Rev brought it up. Do you guys agree with the 2018 pick?
2018. Hold on. Let me scroll down because my list right now is on 2007.
Yeah, I was just there too.
18. Yeah, I don't agree with Chance for 2016.
Pusha got it for 2018.
You know why? They gave it to Pusha because there's some Drake haters over at Complex.
That's not true. Because if it was, how come that how many years did he get? Drake.
Yeah, because it's undeniable. Who else you was
Come on. They're Drake haters because they're Drake haters because of 2018. That don't make any sense. Didn't you just say if you lost, you lost?
Yeah, if you lost.
Well, he lost.
I think J. Cole should have been 2018, to be honest.
Now I can agree with you. Now I can agree with you because I did it the same way. I felt J. Cole should have got 2018.
I think out of everybody here on this list, between the honorable mentions and the winner, I think J. Cole had a better year than Drake, Travis Scott, and Pusha. They only gave Pusha because Pusha had like a spotlight because he beat Drake. And that's all right because he could beat Drake, but we all know Drake had the better career. Drake got more accolades, more awards, more money, more women, more.
He still lost the damn battle. And since you like to quote beef DVD so much, what did Grandmaster Cass say? It don't matter how many bitches you fuck. It don't matter how much money you got. It all mentions who is the best when it comes to battle. Leave all that stuff outside. When it comes mic to mic, track for track, don't step out. Yeah, Drake, you beat Meek Mill's ass, but you lost to Pusha T. You chose the wrong one.
If I can go back to the 2018 selection of Pusha T, y'all know why I have a problem with this, right? If y'all know his album and y'all know how many songs was on that album,
yes,
know how I feel about that.
Yes. I agree with you.
Saying? That's the EP, man. You know what I'm saying?
And the album was good.
Yeah. No, it was good. I will never take that away from it. But as far as like public appearances and everything like that, he didn't really do much of that. I know he's behind the scenes, with good music and everything like that. But as far as like touching all bases and stuff, he did the features. Okay, I'll give him that. But everything else, nah. J. Cole even had a conversation with Lil Pump that year after Lil Pump was trying to diss him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
that's what I mean about
I remember.
like, touching all bases. J. Cole just, he went out the norm and did that and pulled a mumble rapper aside to school him. I don't really remember. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm right beside you. Because with KOD, I basically said he took what they do and did it better. He's like, let me show you guys I could do what you do, but I could do it better. I could still make sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, KOD was dope too, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely more tracks than Pusha T on that album. Yeah. I mean, I feel like they gave Pusha that because, like, once again, Al's boy, he dissed Drake on that.
Why gotta be my boy? Why you scared?
He is your boy. He is your boy. He is your boy.
Go ahead, Rev.
It was a very impactful, disrespectful diss track. It's not, you know how we feel about women and children, and Pusha T did not hold back about the children on that one. But as far as that, I definitely would have gave it to J. Cole. Pusha's good, but you keep putting EPs out that you shouldn't be in contention for album of the year, personally.
And then y'all personally know how I feel about Pusha. I've said it time and time again on this podcast. Pusha T, we have a phrase for Pusha. Well, I have a phrase for Pusha T. I always call it what? Pusha T syndrome. Pusha T, outside of the diss to Drake, every memorable Pusha T verse, every memorable Pusha T bar is the same thing. How many times are you gonna talk about drugs and weight and cocaine and all this other time? Like he's a good rapper. Don't get me wrong.
There's a lot of rappers that suffer with that.
Yeah, Lil Kim is the same thing. All she can talk about is sex. But I can't give a guy who can only talk about one subject matter the rapper of the year. I can't do it. I mean, but, I don't work for Complex. I've never worked for Complex. I would hope to work for Complex one
Let
day.
me ask you guys a question, and it's a good thing I had this conversation with T.O. There's some, once again, going back to, I'm going to give you guys a bunch of names, not a lot of them, but I'm going to give you guys maybe 3 names that he brought up. Do you think that they should have been added, whether it be an honorable mention or a year? Master P is one of them. Who else did he say? Well, ponder on Master P while I think of these other 2.
Well,
Candyman?
I already have an instant response for that.
Go ahead.
As much as I love the Colonel and respect his accomplishments, in the years that he would have been eligible to win, he couldn't win.
Well, what about an honorable mention in 97 for Ghetto D?
No.
Even though he was getting acknowledged by his peers?
I'm going to tell you why. So 97 goes to Biggie. He's not surpassing Biggie at all.
I didn't say. Oh my God!
Wait.
Lord, he's not hearing me.
I'm hearing you. I'm sticking to the format.
I'm not going with a win. I'm asking you personally. Should he have been added as an honorable mention in 1997 just for that? Because Ghetto D selling 5 million records and getting acknowledgement from his peers.
No, because you look at 1997 in rap. So they gave it to Big. And out of all the honorable mentions, I think Twista should not be on this list. To be fair with you, I don't have a problem with Busta, and I don't have a problem with Jay.
Did you listen to Adrenaline Rush?
I have Adrenaline Rush. I have.
Did you listen to Adrenaline Rush?
How the hell am I have an album and not listen to it?
Because you're a damn collector. You don't listen to all the albums that you got.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Because when I ask you about quotes, when I ask you about bars, you can't give me a damn thing.
I gotta be.
So when you listen, no. See, that's wrong. That's wrong. If you listen to Adrenaline Rush, give me something from Adrenaline Rush.
I can't do it at this moment.
Of course you can't do it.
But and Master P is a mogul first and foremost. So even on that criteria, he doesn't win because Puffy had a better year than him. Mace had a better year than him. Mace, the Harlem World is a better album than Ghetto D. And I love the album Ghetto D.
That's another one. Mace wasn't mentioned. What do you think of that?
I would remove Twista and put Mace in the honorable mentions, honestly.
Rev, what do you think of that? Because Harlem World did come out in around that time, and it sold.
Yeah, and he was everywhere with the features. According to the criteria, then yeah. But I mean, to diversify the list, I don't mind Twista being on it.
Right.
What were the other 2 names you had?
Meek Mill.
In what year?
You guys tell me. His name was brought up by T.O. So I'm just going with what he was asking. Do you think Meek Mill should have been around here anywhere?
Let me look at 2011 because that's the only year I could think of. Because 2011
when he got freed.
That would be 18.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Did he do enough? Did he do enough to get on there?
He dropped championships.
Yeah.
2011 went to Drake. Honorable mentions were Ross, Jay-Z, and Kanye. See, 2012 too. Meek was hot, but that was Drake. And the honorables, Kendrick, 2 Chainz, and Ross. What did they say for 2 Chainz? True Religion?
Chainz was doing a lot.
I would throw him on the honorable mentions in 2018 just based off of everything that we was going through with his trial and everything. He did release music. Yeah, because it became bigger than hip hop. It became more like
social activism.
Right. And I could attribute that to the criteria. So I'd give him an honorable mention like that.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take Travis Scott off the honorable mentions for 18 and put Meek Mill there. And I'm gonna matter of fact, you know what? Fuck it. Pusha T's coming off completely. And Travis Scott. I'm gonna give it to J. Cole. And we'll give Meek Mill a 2018 a 2018 honorable mention. How about that?
All right, that's pretty fair. And the last name? Well, what do you think of that, Ref? You agree with that?
Well, the only thing about the Travis Scott thing, because I witnessed that like right in front of me. His records were all over the radio that year. I was in barber school that year, so there was no escaping him on the radio. The only thing with Meek Mill, like I said, was social activism. But I actually agree with the Pusha T thing, man. He could get off the list if you ask me. I mean, well, the diss record for me is what made a lot of waves, and the album. But being that it was so short, like for me, it
Right.
just doesn't have that impact, But I just got to give Travis Scott his due in that year of 2018. So,
He was
but
hot. Yeah. His
yeah.
Travis Scott, especially with the whole thing with what was that? Well, when
You
did
know
they
what?
do that thing with Fortnite for Travis? When was that?
That was that
2018,
year.
same year.
Yeah.
But you
That
know
was
what?
huge.
I'm gonna make a statement. I would, and I don't even like this artist, but I'm going to remove Travis for the last name, and I'd put Cardi because Cardi blew up in 2018, all over the radio, all over TV. I forget the name of the song, but you know how the song go. I make
I like
money,
it like that.
and I like it like that. They both came out in 18. Like
Yeah.
you can't deny that. Even say what you want about her background, where she's from, the way she acts, but you can't dispute that she was all over the radio that year.
She got an honorable mention in one of these years, didn't she?
Let me look.
I believe her name was mentioned somewhere in this article.
You know what? I would take Drake off that list and put Pusha T then in the honorable mentions.
You can.
I know you wouldn't
Yep.
do that.
Well,
I would do it based on your criteria, actually. Because
really?
he lost that. Yes, because he lost the battle.
Despite losing the battle, Drake had all right. I was just looking at it.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. 2017, Cardi got an honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Drake had 6 high charting hits that year. So even though he lost the battle, he did more than Pusha T. He had Emotionless, God's Plan was all over the place. Sandra's Rose, Nonstop.
Nice for what?
Nice for what? Ratchet Happy Birthday, In My Feelings.
Oh yeah, those are those 106 and Park songs.
And each one of those songs was in the top 10 at some point that year. To the point where he had multiple top 10 songs at the same time.
That's actually like more tracks than Pusha T's album.
Exactly. There you go. Oh, even though Pusha beat him,
yeah,
I can't make that argument. Pusha T out here looking like Julius Randle and all that.
Come on.
Julius Randle, really?
Don't do the Knicks like that. Come on, man. You're a Pelicans fan. Stop it.
No, I'm a Laker fan, sir.
No, you're not. Because you insulted everybody on that team. So don't come up here and say you're a Laker fan, bro.
I have nothing bad to say about Carmelo.
Yo, God. You see how he just brushes over the elephant in the room? Out of all the players you bring up Carmelo Anthony. The last name that T.O. wanted to reference was Beanie Siegel.
For what year?
This is around the time when The Truth came out. Because he did do features.
In 99?
Yeah.
Too much competition in the field.
Yeah, back in the 90s, man. Whew.
And that's the difference. The 90s was ultra competitive. My question, do you agree with Lil Baby for 2020?
Man.
It's hard not to, though, because he's everywhere, man.
That's the thing. It's hard not to because he is everywhere.
Yeah, NBA, everything. They used him for everything.
And what did I say earlier about marketability?
Yeah, because you look at the other names on the list. As much as we love Griselda, Benny the Butcher is not as marketable as Lil Baby. And then I don't even know how Lil Uzi Vert made a list to begin with.
I don't know either. I really don't
know. Freddie Gibbs, another guy, not really marketable, not really out there. I know people who don't know who Freddie Gibbs is. So
see, I would have gave Freddie Gibbs 2019.
2019, but see, the Baby was everywhere.
The Baby. Yeah, but Freddie Gibbs had dropped Alfredo that year, I believe.
Yeah, but the baby had 2 albums that year though that did reasonably well.
The second one wasn't that good though. Wasn't that with him No, that's my mistake.
No, I think Kirk was better than Baby on Baby. That's when
Yeah,
my man the Baby said, "I'm a young CEO." Suge. Shout outs to Big.
yeah.
But honorable mentions: Young Thug, Benny the Butcher, Freddie Gibbs. I don't know how Young Thug made the list. You know, every time I listen to Young Thug, all I hear is.
I got a question for you. Why are you listening to Young Thug?
Because he comes on the radio when I'm driving.
Shut it off.
Yeah, there's no excuse. You got XM radio, man.
He comes on XM radio.
Does he?
Change the channel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Rock the Bells.
Not on Rock the Bells, on Shade 45. Your man Marshall.
I got a question for you guys about 2010. Do you agree about Kanye West?
Dark Twisted Fantasy was a strong album.
That album. Yep.
That's actually my favorite Kanye joint.
That's your favorite Kanye album?
Yeah. And then the let's see, Monster alone set the year, but Ross, Minaj, and M, yeah.
I wouldn't have given it to M, but I could understand an argument for Ross.
Yeah, Ross had a strong year that year too.
He did.
Maybe even Nicki Minaj. I don't know, because she killed the feature.
She killed the feature. Even Ross was embroiled in a beef with 50 that he survived.
Yeah, he did survive it. I'm good with Kanye.
I'm good with Kanye.
All right. So that's pretty much what T.O. wanted to talk about. Shout out to you, Mac. I told you I'll hold you down.
Well, that brings us to the end of our discussion. I mean, again, we like I told you people, we can't sit here and go through every single year. However, if you, the listener, hit us up at raplabpod@gmail.com or DM us at raplabpod on Instagram. And there's somebody that you feel shouldn't have won in a particular year, somebody should made an honorable mention, or if you think I'm full of shit, come tell us. I'd love
tell him that he's full of shit. MC Shan, I'm gonna hold you down. Queens is in the building. Me and Rev, we gonna hold you down because this dude here's a hater. Keep bringing your name up every freaking time. I'm gonna hold you down, Shan. Same as how he talk about Marshall and Big Suge and all that. Shan, I'm gonna hold you down.
And I didn't hear a peep from a place called Queens.
Yeah.
You better be careful with that.
Exactly. You heard a lot from you heard a lot from Queens. You heard a lot from a place called Queens, but we ain't hear nothing from New Orleans.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait,
not them years. Not them years.
Not them years. We wasn't
not them years. Not them years. We ain't nothing. We ain't nothing in 86 from out there. Shout out to New Orleans. But we're talking to this dude here.
Of course you didn't hear nothing because we wasn't rapping back then.
We ain't hear peep.
Of course you didn't hear peep. We wasn't rapping.
We ain't hear peep from New Orleans. You want to say that? It's time to change those lyrics.
We was not rapping. Of course you wasn't going to hear
it. It's time to change those lyrics.
Right? But your favorite song that you love to dance
Time to change the lyrics.
Don't be a fraud. Talking about what the same.
You don't be a fraud. I sing better and I dance better than you. You called yourself Jackie Gleason on this show. That's not something to brag about.
With his history.
Yeah. Or everybody out there that want to email, tell this dude.
Yep. Well, that's been another edition of the Rap Lab. We catch you next week. And what's up?
If I may, just want to cross promote real quick. I got an appearance on my man the Jones Hour. You can check him out all streaming platforms, YouTube as well. It's spelled the way you hear it, the Jones Hour.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go check that out.
Catch our man's Rev Barber on the Jones Hour, and we'll make sure to put the link on the Rap Lab IG when his appearance is coming. So that being said, we catch y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.